Welcome back.
Welcome to episode number 2
of Just One More Chapter. Yes. I'm Melanie.
I'm Santana.
And we thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yes.
That first episode was
a little rough, but we're getting used to it.
Yes.
Now, you know?
So we thank you for listening to that episode.
Yes.
And if you didn't, that's fine. We love you still.
Yeah. You're here now.
You're here now. So we're officially in October season.
Yes, spooky season is here.
It's here.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, we have orange, what are these things called?
Mics,
yeah.
covers.
Mic covers, there you go. Yeah. To try and have a little bit of a Halloween vibe.
Yes.
My favorite time of year. Before we get into the topic, I wanted to bring something up. Mm-hmm. That happened the other day at the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
I haven't told Santana this.
Yeah.
We were walking down the aisle with the kids.
Yeah.
And there was no one coming in front of us, and
Yeah.
we're going down the aisle, and this like like a cracker box flew onto the floor. Flew.
No.
Okay, and there's no like wind.
Nobody
There's no
around.
nobody around,
Oh
and it
my
wasn't like
God.
it just when something falls, it like no,
Yeah.
this thing fucking
It's like-
flew, girl, onto the floor. I was like looking around. I was like, what's happening?
Jesus, that would have scared me.
Well, it didn't scare me because like
like-
I'm a very spiritual person,
Yeah.
and I always ask like I want to see phenomena
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
and so then when it happened, I was
Yeah.
like, do it again.
You're like, what's going on?
It didn't do it again,
Yeah.
but I was like, I have to like talk about it because it was
That's funny.
wild.
That is crazy. Like, what? Just flies
I'm like,
off the
hello.
shelf.
Yes.
You're like, hello?
There's like no one around. I'm like, spooky season's here. oh God, I just had to like
funny.
mention that.
Yeah, that's too funny. That's crazy.
One thing I also wanted to talk about that I don't think we really covered in the first episode, because the first episode we were just kind of like so nervous and
Yeah, we were
trying
kind of going off the top too. Like, we didn't have a set plan for that.
No,
first one,
and
but-
I think the one thing I just wanted to say that I didn't think we really said was just like the mission of the podcast.
Oh, yes, yeah.
That I really what I hope from, and I think I can speak for you too,
Yeah.
that I just hope people start reading
Yeah,
for this podcast
definitely.
if they've never read before.
Yeah.
That's like one of the goals I think we have. And then if people who are readers that feel like they can find other people who are readers
Yeah,
and
totally.
talk about it.
Start a little community.
Yeah, start a community. And I just was like thinking about that after we filmed that episode, that I just wanted to say that that's like
Yeah.
our mission is
Yeah.
whether you listen on YouTube or whatever, I just kind of want people to start reading.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so much fun when you
It
can
is.
read and
Yeah.
also talk about it with people too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like with shows, it's more easier to like to talk about it and chat about it.
Yeah.
And then with a book, you're like, so much fun, and then you have no one to speak about it.
It's true. It's very true.
Right?
Yeah.
So I kind of want to say that that's our mission with this podcast,
Yeah.
that we hope you all, are readers. And if you wanted to put in the description below, are you a first-time reader? Have you read before? What are you currently reading? I would love, we would
I'd love to
definitely,
hear that for sure.
yeah, and we definitely would like to respond back to you guys. So yeah, to let us know, are you readers and things like that in our YouTube comments or TikTok or Instagram comments, wherever you're listening to this. We would love your guys' feedback.
Yeah.
And we talked about our book club book for October,
Yes.
Flock,
Flock, where is
which
she?
is not down here. Oh, she's downstairs because I'm reading it. I'm reading it.
Have to reread, freshen up a little bit.
Yes, freshen it up. We're just wondering if you guys have picked up the book. Are you going to read along for the month of October?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a fast reader and you don't want to feel pressured into like, I have to get this book to read, that's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah.
When we do review the book at the end of the month, if you haven't read it and you don't want to be spoiled, then just skip that episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you don't have to follow
You can always
along.
come back to it.
Yeah,
after
when you're
you've
ready
read
for it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just curious in the comments, have you guys picked it up yet? We're in the first Friday of October. If you haven't, that's fine, but I was just curious if people have
Yes.
started reading it.
It's a good book.
It's a really good book.
You should get it.
So as you guys see from the title of this podcast, this is about books versus movies, or books and movies. And we're going to kind of be going over books that we've read, that we haven't read, that also have movies or TV shows out.
Yes.
So Santana, you can kick it
I will
off.
start first. So I have 2 of this author's books on my list. So it's my first pick was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. So the book was released in 2012 and the movie was released in 2014, starring Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. For those of you who haven't read it, it's a psychological thriller about a husband who becomes the prime suspect when his wife disappears, revealing dark secrets and shocking twists in their marriage. So I loved both of these equally. I just felt like the movie did such a good job of representing the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
No,
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
Yeah.
It just keeps you on your toes.
The whole time.
Whole time.
Yeah.
And I definitely assume that the book did the same thing.
Oh, definitely. And it was one of those movies where it like copied the book. Like the first chapter was like him reading it out. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow,
Yeah,
that
it
must have been
was good.
so cool to watch.
Yeah, it was really cool because I was like obsessed with the book. I was like, oh my God.
You went to the theaters here to watch it?
No, I think I just watched it at home, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I watched it in theaters, but
No, I loved that movie, and it's so crazy how she just came out with a book and then immediately got picked up to have a movie.
It's crazy.
That's so
Yeah.
so lucky for an author.
Totally. What was yours?
My first one is Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stefan Chbosky. I'm so sorry if I totally butchered his
I know.
name.
Some of the authors' names, I'm like,
I
have to guess.
Yeah, I have to guess. The book came out in 1999. The movie came out in 2012.
Oh, wow.
The movie stars Logan Lerman, Emma Watson, Ezra Miller. A shy freshman, Charlie, is befriended by two outgoing senior students who teach him about his first love and friendship. However, as his friends prepare for college, Charlie must confront his troubled past. It's a very quick book. It's very small. It's very thin. It goes through teenage nostalgia, like your first crush, your first love, being
Coming of age
coming of
story,
age.
yeah.
Exactly. I love them both equally. It's been so long since I've read the book
Yeah.
that I would have to say that I love the movie more. The soundtrack, the visuals, the acting,
Yeah.
it's just so well
Yeah.
done that
Yeah.
I could just keep watching it over and over again.
When did you read the book?
Oh
Do you
gosh,
remember?
when I was definitely in high school.
school? Yeah.
High school.
Because that came out a long time ago,
It did.
1999.
1999. Like I was in elementary school when it
Yeah.
came out. Definitely in high school. There is triggers for the book. I don't know if it's marketed now, stating that there is they should have a trigger warning because it does deal with SA.
Oh, I see.
So I'm assuming they are now because every book nowadays
Yeah,
seems to
every
have.
book, and even some movies now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think the one thing I liked about this book and why I found it so shocking was that before I even read it, I had no idea it was going to touch that subject.
Yeah.
And when it came up in the book, it was so shocking.
Yeah.
Like it didn't come out of nowhere. It just fit the puzzle pieces together
Yes.
that you're like, oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
And I feel like the same thing for the movie.
Oh,
You
I
don't
see.
know.
Yeah.
And so it's a good discussion, like whether books or not should have trigger warnings. I don't know, such a gray area.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That some people,
I mean, I feel victims of that,
Yeah.
would appreciate it, but
yeah. I think if there was a trigger warning, it wouldn't take away from the
I was
storytelling.
just gonna say that it doesn't really matter to me. Like,
No.
if it's in there, fine.
Yeah,
If it's not, I'm okay with
exactly.
it, but
I even if you can guess what's going to happen at the end, I don't think it takes away from the story.
yeah,
But yeah, just so you guys are aware, if you haven't read the book or watched the movie, there is essay discussed in the movie. But yeah, that's my first one. What's your next book?
right. My next one is also a Gillian Flynn novel, so Sharp Objects. The book was released in 2006, and the series was released in 2018, starring Amy Adams. Follows a
love it.
troubled journalist who returns to her hometown to investigate the murders of two young girls. She uncovers dark secrets about her family and the town, and I loved both of these equally as well. I think the series did such a good job portraying the characters correctly and just the vibe of the book, like the aesthetic, like the creepy small town.
She does it so
vibe.
well, the
she did it
creepiness.
so good. I
it's-
loved it. Yeah, I loved everything about the series.
It's such a
was
good one.
Spot on for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparing her novels,
Yeah.
Gone Girl or this one,
Yeah.
which one do you like
Oh,
better?
Gone Girl, for
Yeah?
sure. Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I love
definitely. I felt like Sharp Objects was a bit shorter, so not as much
Yeah.
to delve into.
Wish it was a
but-
bigger book.
Yeah,
bigger
definitely.
movie. Oh,
Yeah.
It's such a good book. Amy Adams is so good in that. And the girl who plays her daughter.
Oh God,
whatever her name
craziness.
is. She's so
even the
good.
mom too. Like, oh my
Yes.
God, so creepy.
It's so creepy.
I loved it.
That's like a good like fall
It
like
is.
book
It
movie.
is, yeah.
Oh, I love it. No, I haven't read that
Definitely
book,
the vibe.
but I definitely want to read it because the TV show's done so
Yeah.
well. My next one is Room by Emma Donahue. The book came out in 2010 and the movie came out in 2015. The movie stars Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay. The story is told from the perspective of a 5-year-old boy, Jack, who is being held captive in a small room along with his mother. Donahue conceived the story after hearing about a 5-year-old boy named Felix in a similar case. So it's based on a true story. You are in the perspective of Jack, and you kind of see how you don't know it, but his mother was taken as a child and put into this room where Jack is born, and his mother kind of shelters him from what's actually happening and creates this world within the room, and you follow the story of them luckily
Such a good
escaping.
story.
Such a good
Oh,
story.
I loved it.
The movie was done very well. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, me too.
The book for me was, of course, more fleshed out.
Yeah.
And it was a lot slower paced, whereas the movie you kind of have to pick up.
Yeah.
But
the movie
it's
was a lot faster.
a
For sure,
lot
but
faster.
I enjoyed it.
It tugs at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
such a good book. And trigger warnings too. It does deal with predators and SA, but it's very respectful.
Yeah.
And it's done, and because you're in the perspective of Jack, it doesn't really get into much detail because
Yes.
obviously he
He
can't think of that.
doesn't know. Yeah.
No. So it's very interesting too. But yeah, I think I enjoy the book more.
Yeah,
because
me
it ju-
too.
yeah.
It dives into a bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A bit more detail.
Yeah.
And watching the movie, now you're not watching the movie and being older, you kind of see what's happening. Whereas in the book, you're kind of sheltered from that, from
Yeah,
being him as a child.
exactly.
So it's a
100%.
very cool perspective
Yeah.
of dealing with SA and child predator and things like that.
Yeah.
Very heavy topic.
It is. Yeah. Done very well, though.
Mm-hmm.
So my next one is Girl on a Train by Paula Hawkins. The book was released in 2015. The movie was released in 2016, starring Emily Blunt. Psychological thriller about an alcoholic woman who becomes obsessed with the couple she watches from the train, only to get entangled in a mystery after the wife goes missing. I loved this book, but the movie came up short for me.
Yeah.
I feel like Emily Blunt was a bit of a miscast. You know, she's a good actress. I gotta
100%,
say, but
she's a good
just
actress.
Didn't fit that character for me.
Yeah, I feel the
Especially
same.
reading the book first and then watching the movie, it was
Same. Yeah, it was. The trailer was like, okay.
yeah,
Already with the trailer though, when I watched it, I was like, this seems kind of like not cheesy. I don't know what the word is. It's just like this doesn't feel the same.
yeah, exactly. Same, yeah.
Not
it
the
was
same
different,
vibe.
for sure. Different.
Yeah, that book was so good.
Yeah.
Such a good book.
Such a good book. And then yeah, the movie was just too fast for me. Like it felt like everything was rushed.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the book coming out in 2015 and the movie released in 2016, it's like
Yeah,
that's really rushed to me.
That's very quick.
Like,
Very quick to flesh out a script,
insane.
to
Yeah.
really have a cast. Like
Yeah.
Hollywood nowadays just loves hiring the same people over and over
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
And that was definitely a book where you could have hired maybe like one star.
Yeah.
Or like, hire a person, and then the rest are just like actors.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
coming up.
100%.
So I feel like you're like, I want this person and this person.
I
And you're like,
know.
they don't really feel like the character.
Exactly. That's like Emily Blunt for me. Like she was described as someone who's more like disheveled and like, and then in the movie she was like, seemed like she was perfect.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
I don't-
It's
yeah.
like, something's off about this.
Sorry. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you. I have the same thoughts. My next one is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver.
Ooh, I've
Before I
never heard
f-
of this one.
Oh, it's such a good movie. The book came out in 2010, and the movie, came out in 2017. The movie stars, oh gosh, I can't find her. We'll skip that for now. The novel is written in a first-person perspective of a teenage girl, Samantha, who is forced to relive the day of her death every day for a week.
Oh my, that sounds crazy.
It's crazy. It's such a good. I've never read the book. I've watched the movie.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. They are in high school, and it just comes with Zoe Dutch. Zoe Dutch or Dutch,
okay.
Dutch is the main actress.
Oh, okay.
It's such a good. Such a good movie about
I'll
like
have to check that out. That
teenage
sounds crazy.
teenage bullying and an accident, and then she just keeps waking up and reliving the day. I can't put in the perspective of reading the book because I don't know, but I want to read the book so bad.
Yeah.
I just haven't since 2017 for some reason. But I feel like the movie's done so well, and has a nice message. But yeah,
I'll have to check that one out.
check it out. It's so good.
My next one is Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. The book was released in 2014, series released in 2017. There's 2 seasons, and then there's a 3rd one coming out next year, which I'm pretty excited for. Stars Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, and Shailene Woodley. Follows 3 women whose seemingly perfect lives unravel as secret lies and a shocking murder at a school event brings their dark past to light. I love the book, but I think I like the series more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just done so well. Like, visually, they did it justice. Like, it was just
The
great.
actors.
Yeah,
like
it was top notch.
it was the actors vibe so well together.
Yeah.
And the vibe of the show and the music.
Yeah,
and
it was done so well.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
such
I
a
gotta
good.
say,
I'm
the
so excited.
Series 1 for me for that one.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Does it have is it next year? Do you know?
2025. It says there's no
Sick.
set date because they just approved it, I guess. So
Yeah.
2025 is.
I'm
what
so
they say.
excited. And it's HBO, right?
HBO,
HBO.
yeah.
Oh, I
HBO
love
kills it with the series.
They really do.
Honestly,
I like.
I don't think I've watched a bad one yet.
I don't know, not yet. I'm sure we will.
Definitely.
But HBO just has good bangers, even documentaries.
Docu-series?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
My next book is going to be The Maze Runner by Dame Dashner. The book came out in 2009 and the movie came out in 2014. The movie stars Dylan O'Brien. The Maze Runner is about a dystopian world where a group of boys are trapped in a mysterious maze with their memories erased. As they navigate through the dangerous maze and try to find a way out, they uncover dark secrets about their past and the outside world. It is such a good book.
Yeah.
I read this when I was in high school because I love dystopian worlds.
Yes.
And this is definitely, I believe it's an original story, but I loved the book. I love the movie. I recommend everyone go watch the movie if you haven't. Even if you've
not
never
seen it.
No,
I've got to watch it.
You got to watch it. You don't have to read the book first. I think it's such a good standalone. Not standalone. Sorry, it is a series, but it's definitely a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the book over the movie because it's nostalgia for me.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know?
Yeah, it brings you back.
It brings you back, but it's really well done. I definitely recommend. It's on Disney Plus right now if anyone wants to go watch it.
How many movies are there in this series?
I think there's 3.
Oh, wow.
I think there's 3. Maze Runner, and then 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
3 or 4.
I'll have to check that out.
Check it out. It's really good. And then if you want to read the books as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Next on my list is You by Caroline Kepnes. The book was released in 2014 and the show was released in 2018, starring Penn Badgley. A charming, obsessive guy goes to extreme measures to insert himself into the life of a girl he's obsessed with. So I only read the first book and I only watched the first season of the show. I did enjoy them both, though, but I don't know why I didn't go back for more. It was just maybe that time in my life I was busy.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? But I think I did enjoy the show more than the book. He just did such a good job of being that creepy stalker.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Which is so he's such a good actor.
Yeah.
That and they do it so well where he's creepy, but you're kind of interested.
100%. It's
interested
hey,
in
I'm
you.
kind of. Why am I kind of obsessed?
Why do I like Joe? Damn.
Something wrong with me?
It is so fun. Yeah, maybe you just weren't into it. Did you watch it on Netflix or when it was on Hulu?
I think Netflix. It was like when it first came out, I watched the first season, but yeah, I don't know why I didn't go back for more. It was just maybe
Yeah.
busy or
Probably.
you
Just
know,
one of those
different
things.
on the go.
I had no idea that that show was based on books.
Oh yeah,
No
a whole
clue.
series, I guess. I only read the first book, so
Yeah.
can't really say much for the others. It was a good book, you know, but I just didn't go back
No.
for more.
I don't know. Maybe during the winter you're going to want to watch the series because I definitely enjoy the series.
Did you watch all the series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
every
there's the
season?
newest one, and I think the last one comes out next year.
Oh,
like they're
okay.
filming it now.
It's still going?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Which I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know. Oh gosh, like it's brain fart.
Yeah.
I think it's the fifth
Oh,
series
okay.
coming out.
Oh, I'll have
But
to
it's-
check it out.
It's done really well.
Yeah, because the first season I really enjoyed. So
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
You'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
It's really good. On the same topic as dystopian, my next one is Divergent by Veronica Roth. The book came out in 2011, and then the movie came out in 2014. This was Veronica Roth's debut novel. It is a trilogy where society defines its citizens by their social and personality-related affiliation with one of the five faction. This rigid system has removed the threat of anyone exercising independent will and threatening the population's safety. In the story, Beatrice Pryor joins the ranks of the Dauntless faction and explores her identity as Triss. Underlying the action and dystopian-focused main plot is a romantic subplot between Triss and Four, one of her instructors in the Dauntless faction. Again, this is such like a nostalgic book for me. I read it just out of high school. It's such a good book during the time of my life. I don't know if it's like a really good book now.
Yeah, like going back with like your 30-year-old.
Yes, you're like, this is kind of weird. It's definitely weird. I do love the movie though. The first movie in particular.
Yes.
Such a good movie. The rest,
Oh, really? What changed?
because this is all in the same time as like the Hunger Games.
Oh,
This is actually a year before the Hunger Games, and then the Hunger Games came out,
Yeah.
and I think it kind of pushed the filmmakers to
Overshadowed it.
get like, hey, let's pump it out. We got to keep up with this dystopian
Yeah.
thing because it was this, it was
Yeah.
it was Divergent, it was Hunger Games, it was Maze Runner,
Yeah.
all in the same
yeah,
time.
I kind of like peaked in that.
Yeah,
time,
that
right?
I feel like it was just rushed. Like the books are good. Like I love the books. I recommend the books if you love that young love dystopian. They never made the final book, which is such a
Oh, they didn't finish
no,
it?
no. The book came out. Sorry,
Yeah.
they never made the final book into a movie.
Into a movie, yeah.
No,
That's
they did.
so weird.
I was
I
so
hate when
pissed
they
off.
do that. It's
I
like,
don't-
you gotta finish it.
I know.
You've come this far.
Yes, right. And I honestly, to this day, like pisses me off that I never
Yeah.
got to I never got to watch the last book
Yeah.
turn into a movie. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, that's annoying.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. And
Just
like
leaves it.
yeah, just whatever. So I definitely recommend watching the first movie. The other two movies, it's like I don't really care. I
Yeah.
feel like the books for me, the first movie is the best. The books after that are better.
Better than the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that.
Definitely.
But yeah, I either way, I love Divergent. It's like a nice nostalgic book for me.
Yes. Brings you back.
Brings me back.
My next one is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. The book was released in 2017, and then the show was released in 2020, starring Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. It's about two families in a wealthy suburb whose lives collide, revealing buried secrets and sparking tension over privilege, identity, and motherhood, ultimately leading to a devastating fire. So the book was better for me, in
Yeah.
my opinion. The acting was really good in the show. Just the way Reese Witherspoon's character was portrayed in the show was a lot different than the book for me.
I wonder why they did that.
I know, and I guess Celeste Ng was like part of making the show, so she must have been okay with these changes. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt like a different vibe to me,
I hate that.
and it was just
You're like, this is not the book that I read.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing with like reading books first too. It kind of like
Shapes your mind.
a bit, right? Where you're like, oh, it's not the same story.
No, because you
but
expect
it was still
it.
a good show, but it was a lot different.
I've
from
heard
the
of
book.
it. I've never
Yeah.
watched or read
Yeah.
it. but that does sound shitty when the author makes a perfect world and a perfect story
Yeah.
that the then director doesn't like do it verbatim. You're like, why? It was so good.
there's like subtle changes you can make, but
Okay,
to like,
totally. Yeah.
to completely change like a character, like a main character, it's kind of like
Personality trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when it's
So-
like, it must be, makes kind of a different story.
yeah, totally. It's a different vibe altogether, right?
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't the same thing.
Oh, that sucks.
But it was still good.
Yeah.
But
Where is the show on?
on Amazon Prime.
Amazon
I believe,
Prime.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I have to check it out. My next one. Okay, sorry guys, this is the last like dystopian book, but I can't help it. We're kind of going through
She's
like
a
nostalgia.
dystopian girl.
Dystopian girl, I can't help it. The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. The book came out in 2008. The movie came out in 2012.
I loved the movie.
Loved the movie, which follows 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen, who lives in a future post-apocalyptic nation of Panem in North America. The capital, a highly advanced metropolis, exercises political control over the rest of the nation. The Hunger Games is an annual event in which one boy and one girl, aged 12 to 18 from each of the 12 districts surrounding the capital, are selected by a lottery to compete in a television battle royale to death. This is such a good book series.
Yes.
I don't care if you're in high school, out of high school, 30s.
Yeah.
It's such a good book series.
It is,
And Susan Collins is so good that she ties in things that are actually happening now
Like
in today's world.
yeah.
Which is unfortunately scary
Yes.
to effing think about. It's such a good book series, but it's also such a good movie series.
Yes, the movies were done spectacularly.
Spectacular.
The actors they chose,
Yes.
just everything about it was great.
For a book series to go from one book to the last book and have every single movie just be a banger,
Yeah.
banger, that's so rare.
I know it is.
And it ties so well with the books. Yeah, I love the Hunger Games. I love the new movie that just came out, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I love the one that's about to come out again. Like, yeah, Susan Collins can do no wrong in my mind. So like for me, these are totally tied. I can't
Yeah.
pick one or the other.
Yeah.
They're both done so well.
They did do a good job.
Yeah.
Converting them.
They did. Haven't read the book, but I really want to. And I'm going to be talking about Normal People by Sally Rooney.
Oh, I've never heard of this.
No, it's so good. So the book came out in 2018 and the show came out in 2020, fairly recently, that stars Daisy Edgar Jones and Paul Mescal. Connell is a popular, handsome, and highly intelligent secondary student school from a poor home who begins a very intimate, erotic relationship with an unpopular, intimidating, equally intelligent, and wealthy Marianne, whose mother employs Connell's mother as a house cleaner. It's very like basic, but it's such a good, intimate story about these two teenagers who have such a miscommunication with how each of them feel about each other and coming through high school and feeling like you want to fit in with popular people. And it kind of goes from their high school to their college days.
Oh, so it's like past to present kind of thing?
Not past to present. It just kind of slowly graduates from high school
okay.
into college and
Okay.
after, and how their lives keep intertwining with each other.
Oh, I love those kind of stories.
It's such a good. It pulls on your
cute.
heartstrings.
Yeah.
It's the trope is a very miscommunication, but they have such a connection with each other, but they just don't know how to speak to one another. And I feel like that's very typical.
Yeah.
You know, going
But
through
especially
that.
when you're that age too. It's
Yeah, like you have such a hard time talking to people.
Yeah.
And you like this person, but you don't know how to communicate.
Exactly.
It's such a good TV show. It's a standalone book and TV show. It will make you fucking weep. It is, and they're so well acted.
Yeah.
It's I can't rave about it enough. I need to read the book. Sorry, so much, but I just don't want to cry.
Don't tell.
I don't want to cry right now, you guys. But you have to go watch it, read it. I don't care which one you do first. It's one of these books or TV shows that you have to, like, once in your life, you have to do it.
Yes, I'll have to check that out because I've never heard of it.
It's really good. It's really good. Then the last one I want to talk about is, oh my God, again, typing with one finger, you guys, doesn't work at all, is a book called Panic, which is by Lauren Oliver, who is the same author as the book I mentioned earlier, Before I Fall.
Okay.
The book came out in 2014 and the show came out in 2021. The most recent movie or show we talked about so far. I've watched the TV series. I've not read the book. The book is a series, but the TV show is just one season, and unfortunately, it's gotten canceled.
Well, what?
I know. I'm so annoyed.
I hate that.
Oh my God. A dead-end town of 12,000 people in the middle of nowhere. It was summer and there was nothing else to do. Heather never thought she would compete in Panic, a legendary game played by graduating seniors where their stakes are high and the payoff is even higher. It is such a good TV show. I love the cast. I haven't read the book yet. I didn't know it was a book, to be honest with you, until we were doing research for this episode.
And you're like, hey.
I was like, hey, this would actually be a really good book. Oh my God, it's a book? Because sometimes you don't realize the movies and shows you watch are actually books.
It's true. A lot of the times. It's like,
Yes.
wait.
Yeah. It's such a good show. I'm so bummed there's not going to be another one. It's on Prime. And yeah, I definitely
I
think.
wonder why it got canceled. Just like
I feel
not
like
enough interest?
No,
or-
yes. I feel like a lot of these shows that get so lucky to have pickup, it's just the perfect moment in time where there's just not another shows. I don't know. I'm definitely pretty bummed because I feel like it could get flushed out more.
Yeah.
I don't think it was bad acted. I don't think it was a bad script. I feel like it just was.
It was just the time.
Just the time.
Yeah, it sucks when that happens.
It does
It's
suck.
like, ugh.
Especially when if some people are super interested in it and they're like, okay, canceled. You're like,
Sorry,
what's
you're
the point of
like,
starting a TV show?
Exactly.
There's so many TV shows nowadays that have one season.
It's
and you're
so
like,
true.
what the hell? It was
It's like,
canceled.
just leaves me hanging.
Oh, it's so annoying.
So I have a few on my list. I've read the books but haven't watched the movie. So the first one is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I did enjoy this book, but I'm almost not excited to watch the movie.
I know.
I know it's out now, but I'm just like, I don't even know if I want to like rent it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Spend my money
Pirate.
to-
We're going to illegally download.
Exactly. Just because of all the stuff that came out with Blake Lively and
Yeah, the
all of
controversy.
the controversy, and it was just like, oh, I don't know about this anymore.
Yeah, it makes
And
you less
honestly,
excited.
I don't think she's a great actress.
No.
Like, I feel like she plays herself.
Oops.
Hot take.
Take. I know. I think I
I'm
agree
just-
with you.
Yeah. So
I
this
just,
one.
I agree.
Yeah.
The drama surrounding it before it was even a trailer, just
Yeah.
when there was like shots of them on set.
Yeah.
People were already like dogging the
Just even the way she looked.
looked.
Yeah, it didn't match the character.
Yeah, and I think Colleen Hoover already had controversy before the movie came into existence.
Oh, I see. So then it just like heightened everything.
Yeah, people really find her not. Sorry, that was terrible English. People have an issue with the way she wrote domestic violence.
Oh.
I don't know. Take it what you want. I did read the book, just the
Yeah.
same as Santana.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. And
I
yeah,
think that's the thing with reading. It's so subjective. Like,
100%.
you know, you can have someone love something and then the next person's like, no, I hated that.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So-
you know what I mean? Like, your opinion is your opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't like it. I don't care if you don't like it.
exactly. I liked it.
Exactly. No, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't really care to, but I think eventually we will watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I'm just not going to rent it.
Just no. And we're at Literaseal. We're gonna do it some other way.
And then also Verity. She got the green light for a movie
She
for Verity.
did.
So I'm excited for that. I
I'm
just
so
hope they do it
excited.
justice.
I know.
I think that's one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books was Verity.
Same.
Yeah, so.
It's my favorite.
And I think it'll do so well as a movie. Just
I agree. The style of the book was written,
Yes.
the suspense of the book.
Yeah.
I think she can do, hopefully knock on wood, a lot better in terms of press.
Exactly.
For do not hire Blake Lively
Exactly.
for Verity.
100%.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a date for it, and if a trailer comes
Yeah.
out, I can't wait to talk about it on here.
Me too.
Almost done for this episode. But as we were thinking about books and movies, I thought about what is a movie that you guys have seen that you know is not a book, but that you would love and you would actually read a book based off that movie. And for me is the movie Challengers that came out this year, starring Zendaya and Michael Fass.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Such a good movie.
I liked it.
Such a great director. The movie is about Tashi, a tennis player turned coach, has transformed her husband from a mediocre player into a world-famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she makes him play a challenger event, closest to the lowest level of the tournament on the Pro Tour. Tensions soon run high when he finds himself standing across the net from the once promising, now burnt-out Patrick, his former best friend, and Tashi's former boyfriend. Like, just that description alone,
Yeah, it would
don't you
make
want to read that book?
Such a good book it would make. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's, like, tennis books out there. 'Cause I know there's a lot of hockey
There's
themed.
a lot of like sports-themed romances and
Yes.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like
and
football, rugby.
Yeah,
like a
I
bunch
don't think
of
there's
different
tennis.
ones. Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, let me know.
Yeah, let us know because I've never heard of a tennis.
No.
But that would make a really good.
Yeah, so someone do it, please.
Definitely. I have one on my list. Anyone But You, starring Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. One night stand turns sour, and then they unexpectedly find themselves at a destination wedding, pretending to be a couple to keep up appearances. It's a rom-com, enemies to lover. There's
Love
a lot
it.
of good banter. You know what I mean? I thought it would make a cute little romance book. And I just
Totally.
watched it, so I was like, oh, it's fresh in my mind.
I read a book like this now.
Exactly.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard such good things about
Yeah,
it.
it's
And the
cute.
trailers, I could see how that cuteness and that
Yeah.
rom-com-y.
Yeah, definitely.
And them kind of like enemies to lovers in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it would make a cute little book.
Oh, I love that.
And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode. I do want to ask you guys, would you rather read the book or watch the movie? So let us know down below in the comments.
Which one would you?
I would rather read the book. Actually, it depends. It depends.
I know we can't. That depends. It's either yes or it's either one or the
Okay,
other.
Okay. Read the book.
Yeah.
I gotta say read the book.
Okay,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
I would read the book.
Because sometimes I'll wait to even watch a show to read the book first. Do you know
You're
what I
that
mean?
committed.
Yeah, sometimes. Depends, but yeah.
Yeah, I would rather read the book and then you're going to watch the movie anyway,
Exactly.
right? So
100%.
you get both the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 2.
Thanks, guys.
We hope you like on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment, follow us on all of our social media platforms. All the links are in our bio descriptions of anywhere you're listening or watching. So we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.